Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alia Sabrina binti Ismadi and I am from MC1101A. And today my speech is about suicidal thoughts. Did you know that a lot of people nowadays has begun to suffer from suicidal thoughts? Having family history of violence or suicidal, it can be the main reason why this has happened. Usually, there are a lot of people that has suicidal thoughts, has a family that's abusive towards them. It's either the mother or father that has a drunk addiction and they have a temper and let it get to them and abuse their children. And if they started abusing their children at a very young age, their children might grow up and having depressions and suicidal thoughts. This is an act that shows that their parents is not responsible for their kids, as they will keep telling themselves why their parents fought or why their parents decided to commit suicide. It is a very dark place to be, as they will wonder, did their parents do not love them, so they act like their life doesn't matter to them. Once they get depressions, it will be hard for them to get out of that full of sadness state and the thoughts that burdening them. They will start to act like they wanted to die, and some of them even goes further by doing dangerous things such as cutting their hands. And if you have a family members that suffer from suicidal thought and that she or he lives in an abusive house, you need to get them out of there and protect them with care. At least they will thought someone still cares for them and they still have some hope to live. Identifying as LGBTQ but did not get a family or home support is also one of the reasons that a person have suicidal thoughts. Coming out as in LGBTQ is so hard for some people because they will easily get judged by others for not being straight. LGBTQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer. What does it mean by being gay, lesbian, or bisexual? It is not just about physical attraction, but they just want to love people and feel the love back. People tend to look at them as like a bad thing, and other family that their children that associate with a person who is in the LGBTQ will always get told to not be friends with them, and they were forced to leave them because they are a bad influence towards their children, and they do not want their children to be the same as the person in the LGBTQ. They do not even want their children to be near them. This has made the person that involves in being the LGBTQ felt down, as other people would not accept them for who they are. Plus, having no support from their family does not do them good at all. Some of the family felt ashamed by their children, and some even took it far by disowning their children, as if they do not love their children even one bit. Think about how they would react. They will wanted to do something bad, as the people around them would not care about their well-being. This will break their children and felt not wanting to live anymore, as none of the people shows respect to the person in the LGBTQ. What can I suggest is that if we ever see people who are in the LGBTQ, we need to show our respect to them. And if you know a person that is being bullied just because they are in the LGBTQ, you need to defend them. If not, they will think that really no one cares about them, and this is going to lead them by having suicidal thoughts, and they will want to kill themselves. It is our responsibility to treat other people as equal to human and not treat them differently. Experiencing stigma and the fear and not seeking help is also the reason why this is happening. Stigma is when a person doesn't matter who, it can be anyone, that views you in a negative way because you have a different personality or a problem that is known for being a negative stereotypes. Stigma also can lead you to discrimination. For example, someone make negative remarks on you about you having mental health problem. They are questioned why you have this mental health problem, and they do not understand and kept leaving negative thoughts and comments about you. They did not even try to understand what you were going through, and they kept judging you as if you were treated like an outsider to them. Some might even think that you have a problem, so instead of approaching you and become your friends with you, they will intentionally avoid you and make you known that they are actually avoiding you without telling you why. Imagine someone did that to you. What would you feel? If someone that did that to me, I would felt like I'm alone and there is no one I can hope for having my back. Some harmful effects of stigma are the lack of understanding from their own family, friends, and other people. Another one is harassment by other people. This kind of act, they will make you have suicidal thoughts, and the feeling of people kept judging you is unbearable to some person who has mental health. But there is something that you can do to cope with stigma. For example, you cannot isolate yourself from other people. Tell what you have been dealt with to the people that you trust. You need to let it out and let other person know that you have these kind of problems, so that they can offer you a hand and help so that you can go through all of this. You need to depend on yourself to get through it, so don't be afraid and start talking to people for help. And do stand up for others. It will mean a lot to some people as they were going through a hard time for their life. Be there for them and take care of them.